G'day everybody and welcome back to Star Cub Review. I'm your host as always, Star Cub. And today's video is going to be on a review for episodes 1 and 2 of Alien Earth. Finally, last night, the 12th of August, Hulu released the first 2 episodes for Alien Earth, Noah Hawley's most anticipated Alien TV show on the silver screen, and I have a lot to say. Some really good things, some not so good things. But before I get into that, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone new to my channel, watching my videos, liking, or just commenting. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Everyone returning, you know I all love and appreciate you. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into this review. I'm going to roll the credits. I mean, the credits starting thing. And then I'll get back to you. Okay. So, Alien Earth. The first 2 episodes aired last night on Hulu. Noah Hawley's highly anticipated debut for Alien on the silver screen. And what can I say about it? Other than the first 2 episodes were good. They were good. But also, I do have reservations. I have a lot of reservations, actually. But it was solid for the first 2 episodes. But my gripes with the show so far is I don't like the whole dying kids aspect, transferring kids' consciousness into adult synthetic bodies. I think that premise is really just not necessary. It feels really out of place for the Alien universe, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm being real honest here. Like, it's not what I would have thought to be in the Alien universe. It seems very, very weird to me that Boy Cavalier, who is the youngest trillionaire and is the head of Prodigy Corp, and he's played by Samuel Blenken. I didn't care for Boy Cavalier. I don't like Boy Cavalier's character. I think he's very just out of place, very childish, although, you know, he's meant to be a child. He's meant to be acting like a child and whatnot because, you know, trillionaire and all, he wants to be, you know, he wants to be stimulated by real conversation, okay, and wants to be challenged by real people, okay, because, you know, he thinks he's going to get it with kids consciousness, dying kids from cancer, being transferred into adult synthetic bodies is going to challenge him for some reason. So I don't like the whole kids aspect in the synthetics. I think it's not. I don't see how it really fits into the whole Alien universe. The other thing too is the whole aspect with when we meet the other synthetic. They're called the Lost Boys. We meet the other ones that have been transferred. They come off very, very childish and stupid and kind of, I want to say, campy and just real idiotic. And as my husband pointed out, they've had no formal training at all to when they suddenly get permission to be able to go to the crash site where the Maginot crashes into a whole bunch of buildings that on the island where Prodigy Corp is. and without no formal training or whatnot, they're all just going in and making some of the real dumbest decisions to come out of that. The only thing I will say though, Timmy Oliphant as Kirsch, as a synthetic, not a hybrid of a human and a synthetic, but he's actually a synthetic like Ash and David. He is really, really good. I really, really like Kirsch. Kirsch is fantastic. Sydney Chandler as Wendy, the first human hybrid of a synthetic and a human. I'm on the fence with her, unfortunately. I don't think she really gels with the whole thing so far. I don't know. I really can't gel with that whole children aspect. Prodigy Corp, I don't like. I think that's, wasted there. I don't like the fact that there's 5 other companies besides Weyland-Yutani and Prodigy. So we've only met 2 so far. We haven't seen the other 3. But the fact that what doesn't make sense is if this is set 2 years before Alien, and we already know in the established movie lore that Weyland-Yutani is the foremost in space travel, colonizing planets, going, places where they've never been before, and you got 5 other companies, you got 5 other megatech companies now on Earth that are vying for, dominance besides Weyland-Yutani, and I just think that's just really, it was very, very unnecessary, and it makes for really sloppy, because now we're going to see these other corporations and how they deal with, the ongoing threat when the Maginot crashes, and whether they're going to want, to experiment on these alien creatures. And one of the really good aspects I liked is the fact that it doesn't just focus on the xenomorph this time. It actually focuses on Weyland-Yutani going to other places to get other specimens, which I hope in future episodes explains what planets they got them from, besides the xenomorph and the eggs and whatnot. But I will say, I'm loving the gore in it. Like, there's some really good gore in this, which is really, really good. The xenomorph goes real nuts, and so do some of the other new creatures. But I will say, though, this xenomorph, this one so far, reminds me so much of the Runner from Alien 3. Although it doesn't look very biomechanical and skeletal like Alien 3's, and the fact that this xenomorph looks really dry, and there's no wet aesthetic to the biomechanical skin and whatnot. It just looks dry, and it comes off a little bit like the Alien, like it's like a rubber suit, and you can really see it without having all that wet feel and looking like it's wet and really organic and biomechanical. It comes off like a little bit like, okay, why does the xenomorph look so dry? I don't understand. So there were some choices there that I think Noah Hawley has slipped up on. Children aspect, I don't like. The synthetic hybrids, I don't like. Boy Cavalier, the CEO of Prodigy Corporation, don't like. I have nothing against the actor Samuel Blanken, but Boy Cavalier is a waste of space. And I think he's going to be a real pain going forward with the series. I don't gel with his character. I think his character is very just off-putting. I really think this should have had just Weyland-Yutani and maybe one other corp vying for dominance, which would have worked out really better. And the fact that this corporation finds out that Weyland-Yutani has brought back dangerous specimens and they want to see what they can do with it, which is what it looks like Boy Cavalier is trying to do. But without seeing the other 3 companies and what they're gonna do. It's really confusing as to where this goes, but I am loving the new alien species, and I hope they focus more on them along with the xenomorph, and I hope the xenomorph actually starts to look a lot better as we go, and maybe even we see different xenos, like with environmental changes. They change with the environment of Earth to suit what they will look like. I want to see more face huggers. We did see them at the start, although I was disappointed with the first episode, the premiere. It took so long to set it up, but I did love the aesthetic that they have given, the attention to detail with how the original looked, which was absolutely amazing, which was what they did with the Maginot. It just totally reminded me of Alien. But the disappointing thing is we didn't see enough of Morrow and his sabotage on the Maginot and what happened to the other crew, where they're all torn apart and shit like that. Why he unleashed the xenomorph to begin with, or did he use one of his, what looks like, he used a couple of his crewmates, and they looked like they had chest bursters coming out of them, but there was only one alien, there was only one xenomorph. So I'm a little confused as to why you see the crew and we get to know them a little bit, but then suddenly it goes by too quickly, and then it cuts like really jaggedly, and it cuts to him talking to Mother and this female getting absolutely hacked up, and we don't see any other crew members. We don't see what he did. He hides to get away from the xenomorph, and then it crashes into a big ring station thing and then falls to Earth. Really wanted to see more of the Maginot crew before Morrow inevitably, who is a synthetic, sabotages the Maginot crew. And I think he was too, I want to say, he felt like that he was just really ruthless and nasty from the word get-go, and there wasn't the real intrigue about him per se. And the fact that when the crashes and whatnot, we see Morrow trying to get the specimens and that back, he doesn't hide the fact that he's a cyborg, a synthetic at all. Like, he doesn't play like the original does, like when you didn't know Ash was a synthetic. Like, obviously with Aliens, you knew Bishop was, because he says it's synthetic. So I am kind of loving it, but at the same time, it's too close to tell. I mean, I love it, but I dislike some of the aspects, and Noah Hawley's aesthetic is absolutely great, but some of the choices with music, I feel like is just like a real hit and miss. And rock songs in Alien Earth, it feels off. It doesn't have, I mean, the rock songs it doesn't scream Alien to me at all. It doesn't have the harrowing, haunting, music that Alien had, and Aliens had, and Alien 3 had. Like, Alien 3's haunting soundtrack, music, and like sounds like to get you revved up, like something's going to come around the corner or something like that. I loved the music in Alien 3. Hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time from the Alien franchise, apart from Alien and Aliens and Alien Romulus. Alien 3, hands down, was absolutely fantastic. I don't care how many people hate on it. Alien 3 was amazing, and I will defend it to the hilt. To Kingdom Come, like, Alien 3 was amazing, despite killing off Hicks and Newt, which was a bad choice, but I understand. There was a lot of factors that factored into that with David Fincher, and I feel really sorry what David Fincher went through and what the studio put him through, because his vision for it would have been, like, his full vision for Alien 3 would have been absolutely amazing. So there's that aspect. But The second episode really does ramp up. Still, there's a lot of things in episode 2 that I found to be quite annoying. Don't know why they went that way. Still I'm on the fence about Sydney Chandler as Wendy. The kids' whole aspect in synthetics. I just think, and then they throw in comedy as well, and some real campiness, and it's like this doesn't feel right for Alien Earth at all. It doesn't feel right for the franchise. It feels off, and I don't know. I really am looking forward to the rest of the episodes. It has intrigued me. I am loving the aesthetic, but I really, really hope there's a lot more on the other alien species and exactly what planets they came from as well, which will be amazing, because then we know where they kind of got those specimens from, where Weyland-Yutani went. And overall, Noah Hawley blowing off and not connecting Prometheus and Alien Covenant to this franchise is a big mistake. It's a really big mistake. But the rest of the season could prove me wrong. But I really love Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and not having that lore in this either makes or breaks it. I know he wants to go in new territory and other ways, and take the franchise into different territory, but I don't know. I just don't know how that's gonna work with the whole kids in synthetics. It's like, other than that, what do I rate it? I give it a solid 8.9 out of 10 for the episode 1 and 2. 8.9 out of 10. With the other episodes, I will do reviews on those as they come. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell to keep up to date with all my content. And I will catch you all with another video very, very soon. Alright, guys. Ciao.